One joke, one name, and suddenly hip-hop Twitter was on fire. This wasn't comedy gone wrong. This was history getting touched.
These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos.
I just wanna go home. I just wanna be home.
Mace, say names.
Yeah, security crime behind the car.
Damn. People look at me as being bad boy security.
Yeah, this blanket. You're like, what?
Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third.
But he there for security.
What you think I'm gonna be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? I bet you really don't wanna know.
The internet woke up to pure chaos after Gene Deal, Mace, and Cameron got pulled into a tense back and forth nobody had on their bingo card. What started as slick mic humor flipped fast into something way more serious, way more personal, and honestly uncomfortable to watch unfold in real time.
If you wanna say something, Mace, tell us why you didn't go. Mace, why you didn't go to the party? Mace, why you didn't go to the party?
Party? Because I was in a hotel with Brandy.
Why you didn't go? Brandy told you told me that Brandy told you, let's go to the party. Why you didn't go to the party?
I didn't go to the party because all y'all seem like snakes. And I'm not going to be...
So Mace, who told you? Mace, didn't I tell you? Listen to him, Mace. Did I tell? Let's keep it 100. When you was riding around.
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. You guys was the security. If somebody shot the biggest rapper in the world, why y'all didn't shoot back? Y'all had guns?
Mace, let me ask you something. I'm gonna get to that. Mace, one question. When you was riding around Cali with Stevie J, didn't I pull you to the side and say, what the fuck is you doing in a drop-top Benz riding around with Stevie J around Cali? Did I say that to you? Did I say that to you, Mace?
This wasn't friendly banter or throwback laughs. The energy felt tight, emotional, and heavy with years of things left unsaid. It all kicked off when Mace and Cam were on their show doing what they always do, joking, laughing, talking spicy. But this time, they crossed a line. They cracked jokes about the night the notorious B.I.G. was murdered, a moment that still sits heavy in hip-hop, and took shots at Gene Deal for not reacting violently that night.
I was actually in a hotel with a young lady.
And when you heard this information, what was your next actions?
My next actions? After what?
When you heard Biggie died, did you stay in your hotel room? Did you leave out? Did you want to go back to New York?
I actually was trapped in a hotel.
Now I want to ask the question. What do you mean trapped?
It was about probably like 70 or so bloods in the hallway. I couldn't even leave my room.
How'd you get out?
One of the guys.
Why would it be 70 bloods in your hallway after Biggie Small stuff?
Actually, after Big got killed, they was probably looking for more bad boy artists. And I couldn't even leave the room till Gene Deal, the officer had to come get me.
To them, it may have sounded like edgy humor. To a lot of listeners, it came off reckless, disrespectful, and completely out of bounds. And let's be clear, Gene Deal isn't just some name people throw around online. He was Biggie's close friend and longtime security, someone who lived through that night, survived it, and has carried that weight for decades.
Who went out there and they start running off by their mouth, trying to make airways and trying to make a show. Here go a grown-ass man, Mace and Cameron, made suggestions to bad boy security. These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos. When you do stuff like that, you gotta know right now that people look at me as being bad boy security. You gotta be clear. As soon as that drop, you got 5 or 6 out there. Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third.
And the next part of his message was deeply disturbing.
You already know, mate. when you doing all that stuff to Gene Deal, what do Gene Deal supposed to be doing while you doing all that? I bet you really don't want to know. What you think I'm going to be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? They can play if they want to, but if they know what I know, they better find somebody else to play with. I never had to tell Big them Keep it a buck. I never had to tell Big them I told Big to his face, if you go to this party tonight, one of y'all gonna die. Some people gonna die if you go to this party tonight.
Once those clips went viral, it was only a matter of time before people started tagging Jean nonstop, flooding his inbox and waiting for a response. And trust, Jean didn't let it slide. His reaction immediately changed the tone. No laughing, no jokes, no podcast vibes, just straight seriousness. He made it clear he didn't appreciate his name being played with, especially tied to a night that permanently changed his life. He didn't raise his voice, but every word landed heavy. He warned Mace directly, telling him to stand on what he said if he really meant it.
Trying to divert that whole conversation and make it seem like, so Gene, why you didn't shoot? Listen to me. It wasn't because Big wasn't my principal. And he knew the fact that we had blew the light and we was halfway down the block, crossed the light, and then when the first shot went off, our driver took straight off. I'm screaming at our driver because he was told that somebody was pointing a gun at Big them. He should have just threw the car in reverse. He knew the whole story, my man, because me and him had a conversation on the phone. He the one told me, well, I was in the room with Brandy and Brandy was trying to get me out the room to come to the party. So I felt that was kind of weird. So she said Brandy was calling me trying to get me out the room to come to the party. Well, you was in the room with Brandy. How's she calling you to try to get you out the room to come to the party? You know what I'm saying? This was going through my mind. But Mace knew the whole situation. Mace knew that it's no way possible that I was able, being sideways in the car, because Puff, when I got in the car, Puff had put his seat back. Now I'm sideways in the car like this, and I'm cussing him out like, yo, man, what the f is you doing? Why you got your seat back like this? We hear the shot, pow! Puff put his head down. I go to open the door. Kenny flies, going straight. So he knew the whole story. What I supposed to do? Put my gun out the window and just start shooting like this? When the car had already turned the corner, it came out of parking space. So he knew the story, bruh. He was trying to just divert the attention of, well, why security? So ask security, ask Big security, ask Paul, ask the LAPD. The LAPD officer that was right there, they was right behind. Paul was outside the car. Why didn't they shoot? Why when we turn back around and come down the street, that they way down the block, they coming back when we get back to the car. When we get back to the car, nobody's in Big's car. But Big, Mace knew this. Me and Mace had this conversation. Him and Tone is like this. He knew me and Tone jumped in the car and chased after the guy. We couldn't catch him. He wanted to divert the attention from himself because why didn't you tell Big that these dudes was trying to get at you, bruh? You had that conversation with with Puff, but you ain't had that conversation with Big. Big was your label mate. So people come on and talk, why you ain't shoot? Listen to me, bro. At that time, I was young, dumb, and full of cum. Anybody who really knows me know that they ain't got to worry about nothing if it comes to the point where gunplay has to be a part of my security. I'm not going to hesitate because I never bodyguard anybody that I wasn't willing to lay down my life.
That moment shifted this from podcast talk to something that felt very real. What made Gene's response even more unsettling was how calm and direct it was. This wasn't clout chasing or internet theatrics. It sounded like someone genuinely disrespected. Gene basically said joking about real trauma comes with consequences, not online beef, but real-world tension. That's when people realized this wasn't entertainment anymore. This was about respect, pain, and lines you don't cross. Cameron, known for his slick mouth and Harlem confidence, still hasn't fully responded, but fans know his reputation.
Just can't tell me nothing.
And the second top artist in the world, which is Mace, about to be number one. That's what I'm saying. I wonder his face, because I'm like, if y'all let him do that to Big, I don't stand it.
Cam doesn't usually back down, and he's never been shy about defending himself with words. But this situation hits different. This isn't a rap battle or a social media roast. This involves history, loss, and a murder that still carries unanswered questions, making every comment risky. Almost instantly, the hip-hop community split into sides.
Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral out here.
Some people say Gene Deal had every right to be offended, arguing that jokes about that night are tasteless no matter who's telling them. Others say Mace and Cam were just being themselves, talking wild on a mic with no bad intentions. But intention doesn't erase impact, and that's where things got messy fast. What really poured gas on the fire was how fast the clip spread. TikTok, Instagram, X, everywhere people replayed the jokes and Gene's response back to back. The contrast was wild. Laughter 1 second, a serious warning the next. That's when fans realized this could spiral if the wrong words get said. And timing matters. Hip-hop is already in a sensitive space around legacy, respect, and accountability. Old stories, old jokes, and old behavior are being re-examined. So when something like this happens, it hits way harder than it would have years ago. Gene Deal's message tapped into a bigger conversation about who gets to joke about what and at what cost. Right now, nobody knows how this ends. Will Mace respond directly? Will Cam jump back in with jokes or take it seriously? Or does this cool off before it turns uglier? One thing is clear, Gene Deal made it known he's not the one to play with, especially when Biggie's name comes up. This whole situation is a reminder that hip-hop history isn't just clips and sound bites. It's real people, real loss, and real scars. And when those scars get poked for laughs, someone's bound to react. The internet might love drama, but this one feels like it crossed from a viral moment into dangerous territory. Before this goes any further, drop your take below. Was this a harmless joke or a line that should have never been crossed? If you care about hip-hop history and real accountability, hit like, share this with someone who needs to see it, and stay tapped in, because this story might not be over yet.